Hello, fight fans. Seattle Mike fights with friends, and I have a special guest today. She is 2-0 in bare knuckle boxing with two first round knockouts, a former Bellator veteran, and I think one of the best prospects in women's bare knuckle boxing today, Jessica Borga. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Of course, and we are on our way to practice right now. And I think we lost you for a moment.
Oh, okay. Here we are. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. No worries. You acclimated very quickly to bare knuckle boxing. I don't know if you're going back to MMA, but this seems to be the sport for you.
Oh man, it just, sometimes you don't know until you try something. And from the moment I step foot in that square circle, that's my home. I love MMA. Don't get me wrong. I'm a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I love the ground game. I love the challenge of MMA. But man, I belong in bare knuckle, and I love the brutality of it, the violence of it. That's my style. 100%. That is my style.
I only study fighters because I do a lot of fight companions and I do a lot of commentaries. So I was watching your first fight against Sarah Click, and I was watching you afterwards, and I'm sure you were a little nervous. I think all fighters are a little nervous. You did not look it. You looked 100% focused. And it seems like you took a couple shots and like something clicked upstairs. And you're like, wait, I hit harder than these ladies. Am I correct?
Yeah, for some reason, man, I know it's not good to get hit. We train not to get hit, but man,
Yeah.
the moment that they connect with me, I'm like, you ain't got shit. Like I go right for it. I know that I have a amount of power that most women don't have. And with bare knuckle, that is dangerous. And I am a problem in bare knuckle. I don't see another woman that, like, I know there's few and far between that you see knockout power,
Yeah.
but it just, my confidence in there is a different level of confidence. And I just love it. And I'm going to be a problem.
I think you are. I think have they talked about making a belt there for 145 for you to fight for?
Yeah, absolutely. The only problem is they need a certain amount of girls in the sport, and it's still fairly new. Just like with MMA, it expanded fast, but within that 5 year span, it really got big, and it's getting there now. It's just we got to get enough girls to be able to get that strap, and I want that strap. But right now, I'm kind of in a back and forth with Misfit, who has the title of the Queen of Violence in bare knuckle, but I'm gonna take that title away until I can get that belt. So,
well, my money's on you for that, and you're a true 145 pounder. Like,
yes,
you know,
100%. I never felt better at any other weight class. I've tried to kill myself going down in weight class. Like, it was so much on me, and that's my only losses were ever because I was not myself. I mean, not my only, my last two with 145. I had some health issues during that time. That was the real main reason why I only lost decision. But my bad losses were from like killing myself with weight cuts, and I'm just not doing that anymore.
I've seen you. I've seen like pictures and videos you posted of like weight cut days. So like, I don't know where it's coming off of because there's not a lot of women that make 145. You're just so muscular though.
Me either. I'm shredded. I like
Yeah.
even at 155, I'm still like, and I fuel myself with my nutritionist and everything has me on, a ton of calories to fuel my body the right way. And I finally feel like I figured out the right everything that makes my body and me feel the best. And, there's no point in killing myself and not being able to perform like me. All the ones that you see the fights that I just did not perform, like, they're like, even people have asked me, like, that's not you. What happened?
Yeah.
That's because of the weight cut, man. You don't get to show up the way you plan to show up.
I think this is the fastest growing sport, obviously in combat sports, one of the fastest growing sports in the world. Other fighters have talked about this. I don't want to ask anybody what they get paid, but does BKFC pay better than MMA for like that level right now? Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think people like the violence, the brutality, it's just exciting. It's exciting to watch, usually.
Yeah. Well, you only 2 fights. I mean, what, under a minute between both fights? I mean, they're
Yeah, the
both.
first one, 90 seconds, but that was with the counting of the ref and everything. I knocked her down twice, and the second time she couldn't get back up. But I cut my time in half pretty much.
That was a true knockout. I believe it was that second fight against Katrina Leonard when you knocked her down, and she actually didn't get up till the 10 count.
Yeah, that was she was not there.
No,
She was
no.
pouring blood in her face, and she just was not there. And I've been told that she said that she's not ever going to fight 45 again.
Well, I'm sure she never wants to fight you again.
No, it doesn't seem that way.
I was saying you should have came out to 2 Minutes to Midnight by Iron Maiden. You're probably familiar with the song.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then say, you know what, bitch, in 2 minutes, your pumpkin's gonna drop and your Cinderella story's over.
I did walk out to Mama Said Knock You Out by Five Finger Death Punch. So
I've seen that. I love that version too.
I do. I love that version. That one's awesome. That was actually the first song I ever walked out to as an amateur, and I knocked the girl out in 9 seconds.
Wow.
As amateurs. So
that how many bare knuckle amateur bouts did you have, or was that an MMA?
I didn't have to. Yeah, that was just MMA. I had actually a lot of amateur MMA fights in 2 years, and I actually had more scheduled, but injuries and people pulled out and other people got injured. But I fought 10 times in my amateur in 2 years. So I was go with amateur, and then I went pro, and then I got to Bellator really fast, and I've been consistent. I've been trying to be
launched. I seen that you had some amateur fights, and then you're in Titan FC right away, and then you're in Bellator, and now here you are in BKFC, and they just launched and announced a partnership, I guess, or an event with Ryzen in Japan.
Yes, I know. Oh man, I want to fight in Japan so bad.
I'm guessing you went back and watched like the old Pride fights and things in Japan and seen their crowd.
Hell yes, that looks amazing. The best crowds that I've been in front of, California and London. Man, London was incredible. That was like when we were the co-main event, me and Leah for Bellator. That was an incredible crowd. Even though I was the one that, the bad guy coming in, it was awesome. I was always the bad guy.
So sometimes you win them over. Yeah. So sometimes you win them over though when you're the road person. It's not quite as easy, I know, but
yeah, that's true.
You wear a lot of hats though. I'm like, you're a real estate agent. You have like 18 different jobs.
I honestly don't know how I do it all. I do. I love to stay busy, and I am a hustler 100%. Like I like to go. That's what I work best under is pressure. I've always been that type of person. I feel like if you could do it all, do it. If you want to live life to the fullest, do it. Like I can do it all. So why not?
Yeah. When I was in better shape at one time, and some of the guys like in my judo dojo and my sensei, I'd seen guys do, the sit-ups from the pull-up bar. I've never seen anybody wrap their legs around the punching bag doing sit-ups. I'm like, I mean, I'm too heavy. I'd break the chain, but
I love to do unorthodox stuff like that. I honestly like just challenging myself in different ways. I've always been like the Ninja Warrior stuff. Always enjoy doing stuff like that. Always.
Oh, I love the Ninja Warrior stuff, and you're great at marketing yourself. Like I went to Google your name, and you're busy. There's plenty of stuff out there.
Yeah, I try my best. I do my own social media, so I'm sure I could have paid someone to make my stuff go skyrocketing a long time ago. Even in my amateur, I probably should have done that. A lot of people, have a better following in a lot of areas, especially my Instagram. I actually had that on private till my pro. So that was probably stupid, because social media is everything. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, I seen you on Facebook. I'm old school. Like I got on Instagram sometimes and I got my YouTube channel, but it's like I post something and it's like, do you want to post a story? Do you want to post to this? Do you want to post to that? I'm like, I feel
it's so
old
much.
now.
Yeah, it's so much. It's so much.
But
it's
yeah, but then I
like,
see you had 130,000 followers on Facebook. So
yeah, I'm getting almost 140 now on Facebook, and I just started that. Like, I didn't even know that you could actually have a following. I thought it was just the max of friends at 5,000, honestly, for the longest time. And I just started that. It's rising pretty fast. So I like that. I'm probably most active on my Facebook, but yeah, it's
all of us 45-year-olds, on Facebook now. That's what my kids tell me. They're like, Facebook is for the old people, Dad. But I'm like, no, it's not. There's cool people like Jessica Borga on there. So
yeah, there's definitely a lot of people are more active on the Instagram is probably more than anything. But honestly, the thing, my stuff does not get out, even though it has me in all green. Like, I'm not shadow banned. I swear to God, I'm shadow banned. So it just doesn't. My content doesn't get out as good on Instagram.
Everybody on YouTube's told me I'm shadow banned, and and then a few people just tell me I suck. But I get mostly positive comments.
There's always going to be people that tell you suck. It doesn't, honestly, if you don't have haters, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, something like, I don't know. I think social media, and I'm sure what you do to a greater extent, it's like at a certain point, it's like, when you're younger, maybe you see an insult or something, you're like, oh, I kind of feel bad about myself. Now you're like, I felt bad for that person because, like, what are they doing? That's pathetic.
It's like you've reached your lowest low when you reach out or comment on somebody you don't even know, a complete stranger, to try to break them down because you're unhappy with yourself. It's projection at the highest level. Like, you are projecting in so many different ways right now, and you're making yourself look like a fool.
Yeah, totally agree. They're just showing they don't have anything going on in their life.
But yeah, how do you have that much time? Like, I'm like, I don't have a second to waste on fools like you. Like, how do you
well, they're not doing 18 jobs like you either, but
yeah. That's what I was like. Most of the time, I just reply with, like, you couldn't handle amount of, like, even probably 2 of the jobs that I do on a regular basis. So you keep talking, because that's obviously you have time for
it. Yeah, I don't think they're getting. I don't think they're accomplishing much by it. That's for darn sure. So are you headed to jiu-jitsu, boxing practice right now? Where are we going?
Boxing. I've actually been mainly focusing on boxing just because of how much, like, that the bare knuckle, man. That's where I'm aiming to get better and better at technique, and I haven't been able to show that because I've been finishing them so fast.
Yeah.
So
makes sense. I know I'd seen another video where you were saying you really still love jiu-jitsu, but yeah, it makes sense to concentrate on the hands.
Yeah, I'm riding that wave right now because it's where I belong, and I want to get better and focus on that right now. So
maybe you can't say yet, and if you can't, that's fine. But any chance you get on that Japan card?
I haven't heard anything yet, but man, fingers crossed that I will. It would be nice, but probably. Why do you think not?
They have 3 fights. It's already booked.
Oh, it's already booked. He said, my husband's helping.
Okay.
It's already booked. So I mean, it would be amazing, but yes, probably not. Not this time. Not this time.
It is already booked. Yeah, I just heard about it today. I think today was the first day it was announced to the public. I'm not sure, but yeah, today's the first day I seen it.
Yeah, last night. I think it was last night. So pretty much.
Okay, I was probably sleeping. I'm old.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I love my sleep too, man. I used to not worry about it as much, but man, I get my sleep where I can now because of how much I train and everything, and everything that I do. If I can sleep in, you bet your ass I'm gonna.
Oh, I'm sure. And for athletes or just people like trying to get in shape and stuff, I usually ask people like, what their diet, what their exercise regimen is. Are you super disciplined? Do you get away with a little bit of cheat meals?
No, I honestly, that is what keeps me in such good condition, is because I eat clean like 90% of the time. I eat very, very good because I don't like the way I feel when I eat bad. Once you get on that diet of eating good and you feeling the difference in training and you feeling the difference just all around, and not to mention I have Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune disease that makes my thyroid slower. That's another reason why I'm not going to kill myself making weight and stuff like that, because
What was it called again? Sorry.
Hashimoto's.
Okay,
So
I hadn't heard of it. No.
yeah, so it makes you have a slower thyroid. So it's me. I have to work 4 times harder than normal people to stay in shape. So if I eat consistently good, I feel great. I feel better, not eating the bad foods because my body doesn't respond to it like it does, like normal people, do. So that was an adjustment. So during that time of my last 2 MMA fights, that's when I found all this out. I had to have 2 surgeries within like 5 days of each other. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks with sepsis and pneumonia because of those 2 surgeries. And I had just been cleared from all of that when I got word of my fight with Leo McCourt. So I gave it all I had, but like I still wasn't 100 when I got back, so but I still only lost, to top contenders. We were all in the top 10. They were 4 and 7, I believe. And I only lost decision to them. So it's like, even me at I was probably 50% of what I normally am. And I still did pretty good.
Yeah, to even be in Bellator with the small amount of fights that you had at that point, pretty impressive. I know you had the amateur career and you were prepared for it, but still.
Yeah, I did a lot of traveling as well to prepare myself for pro, and I fought hard opponents. I've always fought hard opponents and did that challenge. If you look at the people that I fought, like my first pro fight was against a Bellator and Invicta veteran that had like 14 fights, 16 fights or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so that was like my first pro fight I took with that. So like I've always liked to challenge myself, and I always like to make sure that I'm prepared as much as possible, for what's to come. And I've always gotten thrown in the shark tank fast.
So what was the decision like coming over to bare knuckle? Like, did they see some of your fights and like, hey, we like your style, we think it's going to translate well?
They wanted me to come the moment they started bare knuckle. As soon as it started, they reached out to me and wanted me on, and I wanted to be, but I was contracted with Bellator at the time as well.
Yeah.
So honestly, I was still actually contracted with Bellator and got out of the contract with them when I had one more fight left with them to do a bare knuckle because I wanted to so bad and I wanted to fight, and I was waiting around in Bellator. So I'm happy I did.
Yeah, that's good. Any idea about a timeline for next fight?
We're talking now on hopes that I will have something hopefully in August, if not sooner.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, because we don't want to wait. What was it between your first and second fight? I think it was
a year.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I know.
Yeah, that doesn't pay the bills.
It's hard with this weight class. I guess it's easy to find people that want to do bare knuckle or can do bare knuckle or.
Yeah. Oh, call some people out.
That's what I've literally said. I'll fight anyone. Give me a big name. And I'm hoping that in the works is going to be a big name actually. So.
Yeah. I have a feeling there's going to be more fighters coming over from other organizations to BKFC continuing, including the UFC. I mean, there's not really much of a 145-pound division there now.
I don't. Yeah, they got rid of it.
Yeah, yeah. Once Amanda Nunes retired, I guess that was kind of the reason for it. And then Cyborg was over in Bellator. You challenge her; that'd be a huge fight.
That's what I actually have. I said I would love to fight her. It'd be Cyborg against Cyborga.
Oh yeah, what a great promo that would be too.
Hell yeah, that'd be awesome.
that would be a fun.
I honestly would love. It would be an honor to fight her, man. That would just. Yeah.
Yeah, she's one of the females that like everybody knows. Casual MMA fans, I would say, know. They definitely know who Chris Cyborg is, and even people that maybe even aren't MMA fans.
Yeah, yeah. I think the name everyone pretty much knows.
Yeah. I backtracked for a minute because I was going to ask. I forgot you talked about eating clean, but what's an average day of eating? 3 meals, 5 meals, and what does it consist of?
Honestly, 6 to 8 meals. So, I
Okay.
mean, it's smaller portions, and my biggest meals are always breakfast and lunch, and I have snacks in between. So, I eat pretty often, and dinner's probably the least amount that I have. Try to eat less carbs and everything at the end of the day, but fuel myself properly throughout the day for trainings.
Okay. Lots of fruits, nuts.
Yeah, all the clean stuff: chicken, fish, eggs. I try to limit my dairy and sugar. Natural sugar, fruits and stuff like that. That's fine, but
Yeah.
quinoa. I don't eat really any bread, pasta. That stuff is like very rare for me to eat. I don't like any of that.
Yeah. I know to fighters a lot of times those kind of questions maybe seem repetitive or dumb, but like ordinary people, like a lot of people, like they don't know what to eat. They're like, oh, I'm eating, 38 ounces of white rice. It's rice. It's good, right?
That's what, yeah, people, man, even the health food stores, a lot of the stuff that say healthy is not healthy. It took me forever to figure it out and learn and work with my nutritionist, because everyone's different too. What works for some is not going to work for others. So you just have to figure out you and what works best for you and how you feel, and really listen to your body.
How about meat? I didn't see anything about you being vegan or anything like
Oh
that.
no, I am a
No.
carnivore 100%. I don't think I could ever be vegan. I don't know how those people do it. I have to have, like, I limit my red meat, and if I do eat red meat, I'll try to do the more leaner red meat, like, filet mignon instead of just a regular steak.
Yeah.
But man, I have to have my meat. Like, I like the chicken. I like my
You
meat.
got to be working 18 jobs to afford the filet mignon right now.
Right. Right. I know. Everything is so inflated right now, man. It's insane. It's crazy.
Yeah. Um, did any of the organizations you've worked with, do they ever help with like supplements or food or anything like that?
No, unfortunately. I mean, I know a few of them had their own sponsors for certain things, but they didn't really provide. Bellator would give you like a little goodie bag for fighting for them. Like, they'll have like a little bit of goodie bag and a little bit of money. So Bellator treated their fighters really well. I liked them.
Yeah.
But for the most part, no, you got to find your own sponsors. You got to pay for your own stuff. You got to pay for all your own stuff. Like, people don't realize what goes on behind the scenes. Is You're not in this sport for the money, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, you got to be spending a lot just on your food. I imagine
Yep, it is
1,500
a
bucks a
lot.
month.
It's a help. At least I'm telling you,
Yeah.
my food, and I have 3 kids, and my husband. So like a house of 5,
Oh,
and we
wow.
have dogs, cats. Like, we
Yep.
have a zoo.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. So you need to sell some houses. Do you still have the real estate license? No.
Oh yeah, no, I do. Real estate. Honestly, I got into it because I'm not a people person. Really, honestly, everyone knows that I am not. I am gonna say exactly how I feel, and if I feel like you're like, I'm not afraid to say stuff. So it's not the best as a real estate agent. So when I first got into real estate, it was more for eventually I'm going to get my broker's license and have people work underneath me. There's a bigger
Yeah.
picture of why I got my real estate. So I'm still going to help out friends, family, and stuff like that. But for the most part, that is building my empire. We also do pressure washing, handyman jobs, house cleaning. We have all that goes into that with my business. So there's a bigger picture there.
Yeah, you don't tell me exactly where you are, but are you in California?
No, Central Florida.
Oh, Central Florida. That's right. You had said that before.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah, Lakeland. So like right in the middle of Tampa, Orlando.
well, not a bad place to be, I guess, because that's one of the places BKFC is legal.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, it's nice, and it's big in MMA. It's got a lot of good schools here in the area. It's just everyone and their mothers moving to Florida, so
Yeah, we feel that a little in Seattle too. People moving from California and Oregon, like especially our areas became overran too. Not as much as I think Florida and Texas, but
Yeah, I love
definitely.
the background too. Your background
Oh,
there, that's
oh,
awesome.
thank you. Yeah, yeah. It's just it was just a generic one on Zoom, but when I seen that, I was like, oh, I like that because
Yeah,
I go by Seattle Mike, so
I
he's
love
my channel.
it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Um, so what would you tell a younger girl growing up that wanted to fight MMA boxing? Would you tell them maybe don't do it?
No, honestly, I would, if they have the passion for it, you got to have passion for this sport.
Yeah.
And if you do have the passion, it's gonna be hard. Just let them, I would let them know that you have to get through those humps because it is a brutal sport. It is an unforgiving sport. You have got to have that heart, and you have got to. There's gonna be ups and downs. Those downs are down, man. Like you have got to be able to fight through those bad times because you always excel after those bad times. So just don't give up. Like it is a brutal sport, but don't give up.
What is the environment like from amateurs and so forth, I guess, with the other women? Is there a lot of cutthroat things going on? Is there a lot of helping each other? Because I'll tell you, when I was on the judo circuit, I know it's not the same, but the female judo circuit was actually very competitive. And there's a lot of girls that were pretty cutthroat, to be honest, that, they'd stab each other with their nails under the gi and in the neck to get away with the things like that.
Yeah, I think women are like usually pretty cutthroat. Like yeah, they end up being jealous. They end up being like, it's a woman thing for the most part, which I think I was supposed to be born a male because I have like a male personality more than anything, male mentality. But no, honestly, there hasn't been a lot of that. There's been a lot of help from each other more than cutthroat stuff. I haven't had many problems with other fighters. Honestly, no, in amateur or in pro, I haven't had many problems with very many at all.
Well, that's very good, and they're probably, you don't exactly come off as a target. You come off, as pretty confident, pretty sure about yourself. So that probably helps some, I'm sure. And
I think they know that they can't hurt me with their words. Like your words are dumb as hell. Like
yeah,
anything that you say, I am an open book, and there's nothing that you can say that's gonna hurt me. I am like solid there, 100%. So I don't know. I feel like I have been underestimated a lot. I haven't. I don't know. I think my looks are. I get underestimated for that. I get underestimated because I have an OF. I get, but it's so stupid. Like that, having an OF helps me train more, and it helps me be able to provide more to be able to do, the things that I need to do to get
OF,
my
I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank.
OnlyFans,
Oh,
which is
oh, okay, yeah, sorry.
yeah, it's way more. It's open now. A lot more fighters have it. A lot more people have it. But man, it helps us to be able to train fully and be our best. So people can say whatever they want, and it's usually only the ugly fighters that wouldn't get paid very well on OF that has a problem with it. But
No, I was happy to see that bare knuckle is, openly sponsoring it. They have it in the things.
yeah,
I
and I'm
think that's great.
a paid sponsored athlete, and that they're my highest paying sponsor. That it helps out a lot. It helps out a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys shouldn't have to. I think, be able have to have all these different avenues because fighting is tough enough. But
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is, and yeah, I'm glad that's there. The fighters can make some
Yeah.
extra money, and
Yeah, and if you're proud, I mean, shoot, whatever. People say like you don't have no respect for yourself. Honestly, I'm proud of what I got, and I love sharing that side of me. So it really doesn't phase me at all. It does not phase me at all.
yeah. Well, I have very little patience for people that spend their time judging others. Like that's just a waste of everyone's time.
If the world would be such a better place if people chose to worry about themselves instead of what other people are doing. If you're not hurting anyone, you're not doing anything that's breaking the law. Let them live their best life. Who gives a damn?
Yeah,
It does not define that person. It does not define them as a fighter. It does not define them. Whatever they do in their free time, if they want to share it, let them. Like it does not. It doesn't define that person.
yeah, and who cares and what what you are to that person. It's like that's not your responsibility. You don't even know that person. Like you're living your life, They can go live their life. If they don't like it, change the channel or go to another site or whatever.
Yep. 100%.
So how long have you been on that? How long is the OF?
Only a couple of years, honestly. I wish I would have started a long time ago when it was like brand new. But unfortunately, now it's more saturated and everything. So not anyone and everyone is not making as much as they used to because of how much more saturated it is. But if
Well,
you're a
everybody in the
athlete,
community, get out there, sign up to Jessica Borga's Instagram, sign up on her OnlyFans. You don't have to use your real name, so I don't tease you. No.
yeah, I don't actually have a subscription on my Instagram anymore because I'm exclusive with OF. So OF really does help me to be able to provide for myself and make me the best I can be at this fight game for as long as possible.
That's great. And they're really tying themselves to the fight game in, I think, a pretty professional way, to be honest. Because I don't know if you know John McCarthy and Josh Thompson, like their podcast Weighing In, sponsored by OnlyFans. Nobody wants to see John McCarthy naked any more than they want to see me, but that's not his content there.
Yeah, that's what people don't realize. Like, not everyone that's on there is doing that. Like, there's other things that I tell the people all the time. If you want to subscribe, you don't have to. You can choose to take part in that stuff. But I also am there to help people with their diet, and I'm also there to help people with workout regimens. And answer questions or just get to know me or whatever. It's not just that.
Yeah, and I see that as a platform where people can go on Instagram and they can see a generic person they don't know working out. And, oh, great, they have these pictures, they got in shape. Now I feel horrible about myself. But here they can find somebody like you or someone else and say, hey, can you help me maybe on my path? Like, tell me what I should be eating in the morning, when I should be eating it, and what exercises and things to be doing. So yeah,
and I love to help people. I love that. Like, that means a lot to me. I love being able to help people do that.
Yeah, well, I always get along, I would say pretty much always, with open and honest people. I know you said that you can kind of come up strong. I think it's being open and honest. Don't want to insult half the people out there, but like, so many people are just fake. It's like, no, we know that you're not an angel and you have a real life and you're an adult just like everybody else. It's like, why are you hiding everything?
That's exact. Like, trying to be perfect is just, it doesn't work. And I am big on, like, I can feel things. Like, it's crazy. My intuition with people and like feeling them, if they're genuine or not, is out of this world. It's like, I don't know, I have like a sixth sense of that shit. So
yeah, I watched a few minutes of an interview with you because I don't usually watch like full interviews because I don't want to ask like the same questions or bore fighters and things. But I was like, she's someone I feel like I could talk to, is very open and be comfortable with. So that's
oh, thank you. I appreciate that, because that's the type of person I like to be. I want to be someone that's like, down to earth and just shoot the shit with.
Why that comes off as mean sometimes, I'll never know. Or
I don't know, because people don't like to hear the truth, and I would rather someone hurt me with the truth than sugarcoat some bullshit. Like, I prefer it.
Yeah, and that's how I raised my daughter to be that way. She's got a little bit of a mouth. She's get herself a little bit of trouble at work. She's 22 right now. She was a wrestler, and I told her not to fight. Actually, though, she's just not built for it.
It's different. It's different for your kids too. Like, my son, like, I don't know. It's just different. It's that protection thing. Yeah. You don't want him to endure the pain that you endured.
Yeah, she goes, Dad, will you train me? I said, if you want to do judo, you want to do jiu-jitsu, absolutely. But I'm not training you to get punched in the face. Sorry, honey. Yeah. If I thought she was a future world champion, like you or something, she had like amazing skills, she could probably, beat up somebody that attacked her at work or something, or a coworker. But I'm like, you're not going to be a world champion at this, probably. Sorry, honey, you're going to use your brain. So no.
Yeah, I totally get it. I get it.
Yeah. When did you decide you wanted to become a fighter? Did you wrestle in high school? Did you do martial arts?
No, it's crazy. I I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. My family is Jehovah's Witnesses, and
Oh.
I wasn't able to compete in anything that was competitive. So I created my own sport. I got kicked out of like every school I went to. I had a bad pass, whatever, and I used it. I kind of got kicked out of every school I went to for fighting. So I guess I was always a fighter. I was more of a vigilante. I beat up the bullies that picked on the other kids. I didn't like that because of my past, probably. But then, like, I grew up and I actually tried MMA and I loved it. I fell in love with it. It was like I was young still. Found out like less than a month in that I was pregnant. And during that time, I was going through a lot of serious stuff as well that tracks back to my past. And one of the main reasons that I went back after having my son, and I just never stopped since, was domestic violence. I wanted to make sure that no man was ever going to put their hands on me again without me defending myself and hurting them badly. So stop.
I'm sure the husband, I can see, helps out in a lot. He's probably driving right now, huh?
Yeah, he does. Man, his support and my family, like, they're so supportive of what I do, and having that kind of support behind you is just a game changer, because I never had that. I've never had a man that treats me the way he does, lets me be me without, me feeling bad about like being me. And I've just never had a better relationship, and it's a huge game changer, especially in this sport.
Oh, I'm sure he probably travels with you. And does it make him eat healthier?
No, I can't do that. That man does not eat healthy.
Well,
I literally have to make food for them and food for me separately. Like, the kids ain't gonna eat healthy. I've tried.
oh, you are so disciplined. Or maybe I'm just weak, because like I would be trying to eat clean, and then I'd be making for the wife, when I was younger, and the kids and stuff. And I would tell my wife, I'm like, don't bring that into the house, because she brings a thing of cookies. Like my willpower sucks now. Like, she'll turn around and things half gone.
It takes time, man. It does, but I'm very, very dedicated to my diet. It's it takes a lot, though. It's not always easy. It's just, you got to get that dedication, and it just takes time.
You ever have anybody come into a gym? It'd be great if it was a man that he came in thinking they were all tough, and then you put them in their place and they didn't return.
Oh yeah, I've had that. Oh, can't count how many times. My coach actually will put me with them, because the guy acts like he's Mr. Tough Guy, and he's like, I'll be kind of like the mat. What does he call it? The mat enforcer? Yeah, mat enforcer. And he'll make me go with him, and I'll just absolutely annihilate them. And that's one of the reasons why he named me the Black Widow, is because for the longest time I didn't even know what the. But I finally asked him like a year in. I'm like, why'd you name me the Black Widow? Because I had a tattoo on the back of my neck. And he's like, no, because you're like this, hot blonde chick that just comes in and destroys the guys. Like, you're just slinging them around like rag dolls. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Humbling.
So practice right now, out of my own curiosity, is it similar to like conventional boxing? Or are you doing something unconventional, more more geared towards BKFC?
Definitely more geared toward BKFC. The team that I'm with now, Shift MMA, we have Dave Mundell, we have Jared Warren, which is going for the title fight, coming up in a couple weeks. We have Crystal Pittman, we have Brandon Allen. Like, we have amazing bare knuckle boxing. Jafar, like, we have tons of just bare knuckle boxers, and it's different. The training for bare knuckle is different than just regular boxing. And this team and our coaches, and like, it's incredible. It's another level for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great to have people that are doing the same thing, because I've seen boxers come in there. We've all seen boxers come in there and they think they're going to clean up, and they realize pretty quickly it's a different sport.
Oh, it's definitely different. That clinch and everything really comes in handy.
Yeah. No, I'm sure with that.
I literally travel like So all my trainings are almost 45 minutes away, except for my strength and conditioning. So I travel at least 45 minutes if traffic's good to go there, and 45 minutes, if not longer, back every single day. So I have multiple trainings, so sometimes it's even more than that. So I'm in the car, doing what I can in traffic.
You have to start practicing car jitsu. You can make a little extra money at that.
Oh my God, I've seen that. That would actually be pretty fun.
I seen this. I was like, is this real? I'm like, what is going on right
now? They're insane. I can't. I wonder how much they pay for that, because I would love to just choke someone with that seatbelt.
It's very, very unusual, very unique for sure.
It is.
This is a unique sport in a good way. And the funny thing of it is it's kind of going back to the original roots of boxing. It was bare knuckle. Then they had the first gloves they had were 5-ounce gloves. I want to say like late 1800s, early 1900s. And then they got to what they are now. But
I just love the brutality of it. It just is, I stupidly used to do bar fights and blah, blah, blah. And I knew that I could, I fought grown men at bars and knocking them out. So I knew I could, bare knuckle didn't scare me. I literally have gotten punched in the face and kicked in the face in bar fights. I've gotten jumped. I was not scared of it at all.
So the husband doesn't even have to jump in. If somebody tries to hit on you, you're going to knock
the only time he makes a joke about that. Actually, he says if he jumps in, it's not to save me, it's to save them.
Well, I think they would get what they deserve.
They highly underestimate that. I never get that I look like a fighter. I never get that, especially if I have my makeup done and I look like a female.
Yeah.
I never get that. I get bodybuilder, I get all that other crap, but no, I never get fighter. Even when I was checking in for Bellator, they never expect, my husband and I will walk up to the desk and say that, we're here to check in for Bellator, blah, blah, blah. They'll look at him and say, what's your name? As the fighter. And I'm like, I'm the fighter. I'm over here.
Did he ever think about fighting? He's been asked so many times now.
Yeah, no, that's how we met. We've been training together for the whole, almost 10 years now that I've been there. And he's been there 10 years before me almost. So he's been training MMA and jiu-jitsu, and he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu as well for 20 years. So he's been in the sport. He's been trying
What's
to
his
fight.
name? I'm sorry. I didn't
Steven Chalosky.
Okay. Steven?
So, and I kept my last name when we got married. So.
Oh, okay. Hi, Steven. Thanks for being here with us and driving her along. I was starting to feel awkward talking about you like you weren't there. So hello, thanks for being here.
That's okay.
I like being in the background.
He's been trying to fight, honestly, though. He's even he tried out for the Borga BKFC, and one of the guys that actually fought for them, he sparred him and just annihilated him. So he's got the skill. He's been trying to fight, but now he is a little older. He's almost 11 years older than me. So
get into the celebrity. Go challenge some celebrity guys. That's where the money's at. Go challenge some YouTubers.
Yeah, see, just call out a YouTuber.
Oh, I'll beat all of them up.
Well, I'm 45. I don't think I want you. I am looking for a fight with another guy out there right now, but I don't think I want that one.
Yeah, he just turned 46. So he's older and
well, I'll be 46 in September. I'll fight anybody if the money's right.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And he's got wrestling. He used to do, in school, he was a wrestler. He went football, wrestling. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt. He's been doing, MMA for a long time. So he's not new to it.
Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah, like I said, call out some of those YouTube guys. That seems like they can draw some pretty big crowds sometimes. Social media guys, which is
You're right.
Yeah, and I could never date someone who I could easily beat up. So
got to be tough, right? You guys are probably pretty close to getting to your training spot, huh?
Yeah, just about there.
Okay. All right. I want to ask you something. I'm going to drop this publicly on Sunday. We have a huge fan actually in our crowd, and it's his birthday on Sunday. His name's Robert Kerrigan. We call him the Drunk in Charge. If you could tell him happy birthday, I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely. Happy birthday, Robert. I hope it's a good day. Be safe.
All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate this very much. Anytime you want to come on, I would love to talk to you anytime, fight or anything coming up. This has been
Absolutely.
awesome.
I hope to hear some news soon. It was awesome to be here. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Jessica Borga, I think a future 145-pound champ.
Facts.